On the way down, I really started to notice some problems. The backs of both of my knees were aching quite badly to the point where I was limping down the hill. I was worried I wasn't gonna make it down or it was gonna take me hours. The amount of pain I was in, it hurt to move my legs at all. In the summer of 2020, I decided to get more into hiking. I've never been much of a hiker, to say the least. I find it very difficult, but very rewarding. When I first moved to BC, I couldn't do Mount Tom. I remember trying Mount Tom and halfway up having a panic attack because I thought it was too steep and just my elevated heart rate. And as someone coming from the prairies, I just wasn't used to hills. So I started pretty small. I could do Teapot and a few other smaller hikes, but that was about the limit of what I was capable of. This summer I really decided to go for it. For example, Mount Tom now is my starter hike, when before I couldn't even complete it. In September, I decided to try Chadsey Lake for the first time, and I loved it. It only took me about an hour and a half, I think, to get up to the lake, and I knew there was a further trail up to the Sumas Lookout, so I decided I was just gonna go for it. Partway up to the lookout, I could feel my knees starting to hurt, but I didn't think anything of it. I've had knee problems in the past, and usually a couple days rest after, and it's not a big deal. So I pushed through it and I got up to the Sumas Lookout, and unfortunately there was clouds that day, so I didn't have much of a view. On the way down, I really started to notice some problems. The backs of both of my knees were aching quite badly to the point where I was limping down the hill. I was worried I wasn't gonna make it down or it was gonna take me hours. The amount of pain I was in, it hurt to move my legs at all. I got home, and for a couple days after my knees were pretty bad, I'd be laying on the couch and I'd go to move my leg and it just shooting pain. But the minute that they got better, I decided I was going to keep hiking because I didn't want to lose the momentum I was gaining from doing hikes. Within a week of doing that hike and my knee problems, I decided to do Abbey Grind as an interim hike just to stay in shape. And on the way down, my knees were bad again. And I'm not sure if it was that hike, but earlier last year I had a back issue. I set it off again, doing these hikes and pushing myself past the point where my body was ready to go. It got bad. It got really bad. I couldn't go to the grocery store. I could barely walk. Laying down to sleep hurt. Walking hurt. Standing hurt. Everything hurt, which made a lot of daily tasks difficult. And I decided, you know what, I need to see a physiotherapist. I need to get this checked out. At the same time it was bad enough, I decided I also needed to set up an appointment with my doctor. She was convinced it was just muscular and said, come back in a couple weeks if you're still having issues. And I finally basically demanded an MRI, but I was told it would be 6 to 9 months before I could get in. So I decided to just, you know what, throw some money at it and go private, and am I ever glad I did. It turns out, from whatever I did, first to my knees and then to my back, I had 2 bulging discs and 1 protruding disc. The image I'm about to post, the white line is the nerve canal, and it's supposed to be just a nice white line the whole way down, and as you can see, the protruding disc, it looks like a bubble. It's just pushing right out into it. The ultimate issue that this is causing is that I now have a compressed and displaced nerve, which led to the severe sciatica pain that I was feeling down the back of my leg into the bottom of my foot. It explains why any movement that pushed back on it, it was just compressing the nerve more. Cue my doctor getting the results. She said, okay, well, you're just gonna have to find ways to do things pain-free, because once discs are injured, they do not heal. And I wasn't okay with that. I asked her, like, what do you mean they don't heal? The body heals. And she's like, nope, these things do not resolve. She's like, good news, most people eventually don't find it as painful. The pain goes away, but the problem is still there. So I asked her, is this a liability? Like, I'm not okay with not getting better. And she couldn't give me any answers. I went back to my physio. Thank goodness. I told him about what my doctor said, because he said that was absolute garbage and that he had seen people heal. However, he did say that my MRI was the second worst one he had seen in his career. So we had a bit of an interesting starting point to work from. I'm still seeing him now. He gave me what felt like really moderate exercises. I was concerned they wouldn't even do anything, to be honest, but I stuck with them and I did start seeing improvements. And it is now January 3rd, and I have gotten to the point now where I can run a little bit. I started on the treadmill. I've done the couch to 5K before, which led to me doing my first 5K run in 2014. I think I did it in 31 minutes. It was just over 30 minutes because my goal was to be sub 30 and I didn't quite make it. The couch to 5K program is amazing. Like, I literally in 2013 started it, had never run before, have never been a runner, and got to the point where I ran my first 5K and then I ran my first 10K in July of 2014. And that was amazing for me. I ran the entire thing without stopping to walk once. And for me, that was a massive accomplishment. I think I did it in an hour and 12, or it was slower than my 5K pace, but I wasn't honestly surprised by that because I'd never trained past 5K. I just went under the assumption that if I could run 5K, I could do 10K. Like, once you get into that point where the run just becomes comfortable and you're just okay with being uncomfortable during the run, I figured I could stretch the distance. And I was right, thankfully. Next time I need to train better for the longer distances. I have some pretty lofty fitness goals that I honestly intend to achieve, even though when I say them out loud, they sound a little bit crazy. I've never been much of a runner, but when I did get into it, I found the process addictive. I found that once I got past the point where running just sucked, and I built up a bit of a tolerance to it and a little bit of endurance, I really enjoyed it. Every single race I ran when I was running, why did I do this to myself? But at the end, I instantly wanted to go back out running. The same thing happens with hiking for me. Anytime I go hiking, the entire time I'm going up a hill or something similar, I'm just like, why did I choose to do this with my day instead of sitting on the couch? But you get to the view and you get back down and you just instantly want to go again. And for that entire work week in between hikes last summer before I injured myself, I would just be thinking about what hike I wanted to do the next weekend. My ultimate goals, I'm going to share them right now because if I put them up, I have to stick to them, right? Is to run the ultramarathon around Bunsen Lake, which is a trail running ultramarathon. And that's the other part of the goal, is to get comfortable doing proper trail running up and down hills. Because it's one thing to hike the hills and it's one thing to run on flat ground, but to kind of combine the two together is, it just takes the exercise goal kind of to another level as far as I'm concerned, in regards to the amount of muscle I'm going to have to build and the amount of endurance I'm going to have to build. My general exercise goal timeline is to run a 10K this summer in 2021, and my first half marathon before the end of 2021, whether that's in a race. I don't know if COVID will permit that or just on my own. Then 2022 marathon. So in 2022, I want to run my first marathon, and I'm going to pick something pretty flat just to be nice to myself. I'm assuming races will be back by then. And then past that, it's a matter of building up the strength and endurance to do the trail running ultras I want to do. And if any of you know any other channels of people who have recovered from a serious back injury and have gone on to do really amazing things, please share those links with me. I'd love to surround myself with that positive feedback and those positive stories so that I know people do accomplish these sorts of goals. I guess I'm kind of recording this and sharing this to keep myself accountable. And if I share it, I have to do it, right? And if you guys start to expect me to upload every Thursday, I need to upload every Thursday. And that means I need to film something to share, which means I need to do my exercises and I need to go for my runs and my cat. And I guess in that case, I'm hoping that you'll be my support group and that you'll want to come on this journey with me. So please like and subscribe. I will be doing videos every Thursday and I need to hold myself to that. I'm finishing school this year and it's going to be very, very difficult the next 5 months to do an upload every Thursday, but I need to do it for my health and I need to do it for my accountability. If anything, it'll probably help my schoolwork if I actually maintain a regular exercise schedule. And join me next Thursday for my first video of week 1 of the Couch to 5K program.